Welcome back to Timberborn, and update 6 has released on the experimental branch, and we are going to start a new series. I am torn between which faction to go for, but I think we're going to go INTs. I have no mods installed at all. Mod support is part of update 6, but we're going to go just straight in as is initially and have a look at things. Going to go INTs because I think that will maybe offer more interesting opportunities in terms of power with things like their bigger water wheels and that kind of thing. And I am playing INTs with the current normal Let's Play, but that it kind of is what it is. I don't know which map I'm going to choose. We'll get to that right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of was thinking maybe terraces, because of the verticality and the whole 3D thing. I don't think I've done a series on terraces yet. I have played terraces before, but this might offer some interesting opportunities for doing things. So yeah, it's a big map. So we could maybe have a look at that. We did Thousand Islands very recently. We've got Mountain Range, which I think I did somewhat recently as well. Okay, I was wrong. I don't think I've played Mountain Range before, so we're going to give that a go. My plan is to play on normal difficulty for this initial Let's Play, because I want to focus on the new features of Update 6 rather than it being hard. I might regret that because sometimes I find normal becomes too easy quite quickly. That might mean this series is relatively short and we end things up a bit earlier and switch to a harder series. We'll see. So we are on Mountain Range Update 6. So let's just pause quickly. We'll have a quick look at the map. We'll have a quick look at some of the new bits. So we are here. Our water sources are up here and up here. So need to bear that in mind when a bad tide comes in. We've got a bad water source here. And we've got bad water all the way back here. So that's not going to affect us too much in the short term. Being on normal, we are going to have a little bit of time to get ourselves sorted before we have to worry too much about a significant bad tide, I suspect. Then if we have a look in the paths and structures, we have the overhangs. These are a new feature. They're like the side platforms if you have played with mods. They are solid, so you can build on top of them. And now you can, with the update, you can build levees and dams on top of them. So that's kind of cool. We have the sluices, so we could use those as part of dams to control water flow. We have the impermeable floor, so you can build those on things like platforms to move water around. We have metal platforms. These are smaller metal platforms than previously, but they're kind of cool. What else have we got? So we've done the sluices, we've done the impermeable floor. Storage looks unchanged, so I don't have any mods installed yet. The deep water pump will now go deeper, I believe. So max depth of 6. I thought they'd said they increased the max depth to 8 in the release notes. Maybe they just haven't updated the flavor text. Do I have a very steep drop that I can hang this off to test it? Not easily. We'll get to that. Oh no, it's the deep mechanical that does 8. Okay. Centrifuge change, bad water discharge is unchanged. The food chain, I believe, is unchanged. Water and metal are unchanged. Power, the big change, I guess, with power is that water wheels don't slow down the flow of water. So that's good. I don't know if they still increase the depth of water behind them. So we'll have a look at that. Science-wise, everything is still the same. Well-being-wise, we have the detailer, which lets you, I think, do fun, basically tattoo their tails. It doesn't remove their tails, it details their tails. Decoration-wise, I think that's all pretty similar. And then monument-wise, we have the Earth Repopulator for the Wonder for the Iron Teeth. So, yeah. That's update 5. New stuff. We are going to need to, I think, get some farming going, get some water pumping going, get some tree cutting going. It's probably going to be sensible to throw some dams across here so we can get to the oak trees pretty quick. Let's make a start, shall we? We need to put down some paths. I'm going to miss ladders so badly. Hopefully they are available soon. Why have I put the path all the way to the very edge? That's a bad idea. Water pumping is obviously going to be a bit of a priority. So let's address that with a few water pumps. We probably want to run a path back here to this. That's a bit of an ugly path, but it'll do for now. And then let's step the path up to here, and we will start off by cutting down all of these dead trees because they're not going to regrow because they're dead. Do we want a gatherer flag? We probably do. So let's bring the path. Oh, that would be neater, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be neater. Let's do. Let's do that because that's a bit neater, and then let's do food. Gather a flag there. They'll gather those berries. I am going to throw in a temporary farmhouse here. I think this map looks really familiar because I watched someone else play it. So we're putting a temporary farmhouse here. We can plant some crops. So we've got water, food, wood cutting. That's a good start. Let's get 4 beavers in building stuff. Let's prioritize water pumping because water pumping is important. So we'll go highest priority on those, and then that. And then we'll start putting in some storage. And then we want to put in, what's the shortest dam I can build? 1, 2, could do 3 there, but I would struggle to build it. Or I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would get access to the logs over there. I could do 1, 2, 3, 4 and maximize the wood that or water that I'm storing. So let's do that. Come up here like that. Come across there. That gets us access to these oak trees then, which is a very good source of wood, obviously. Plant crops. We are going to be planting kohlrabies. And we're just going to plant them in here initially. The other thing that we should get going early is a breeding pod or 2. Because that's usually a bit of an issue. You know, your population dying off is kind of bad. So let's do that. No, I don't want that to be that low. There we go. So, and a 16-hour working day at night, we're going to go up to an 18-hour working day. And we're going double time. That's fine. most of what I build initially will be temporary. I already miss things like the water barrels that you could put down into the water. But a couple of water tanks will be sensible. Let's high prioritize the farm next, get some food growing. That will be a good idea. I'm so used to playing on a harder mode that, yeah. Need to prioritize food. A bit of me is thinking that depends how we go, actually. We might just have to ride out the first few bad tides, but if we can, and we'd have to build up so high to divert that way or divert that way. So yeah, it's going to be quite tricky because we're at a very low point. Yeah, we need to go up on about 4 levels all the way across here. So I think we'll worry about that in the future, maybe. Cool. So the farmers have got hats on. I think that's new as part of update 6. It's kind of cool. Yep. So they can be going in. You're full. You can be paused. Actually, we are a bit short of beavers now. We can maybe ease up on the number of builder beavers. They're quite doing a good job. Do I go crazy on the amount of kohlrabies that I plant? Maybe. Let's plant another batch over here. It would be somewhat sensible probably to build a couple of warehouses for food. So let's do that. We'll make those low priority as well. Yeah. We've got our first breeding pod in. -1 health because shelter. That's okay. That's okay. Not too bothered about that. We don't really have any water storage yet. That is a little bit of a challenge. Challenges and opportunities. We seem to be wood limited at the moment. So let's throw in another lumberjack flag and get chopping wood faster. 1 water tank built and full actually, which is good. 2nd water tank in, and looks like they are starting to work on this. I guess we should also be having some science going on because we do need to start to think about things like a forester and sawmills and that kind of thing. So let's throw one of those in. That would be good. And yeah, if we can get this built even before the first drought, that would be insane. We do need to access some more logs by the looks of it. So what I'm going to do is run the path down along the water's edge. I know it would probably be more efficient to have a straight path, but we're going to do that for now. And let's move a couple of the lumberjacks across. So let's delete you two and mark these trees to be cut. We have quite quickly stripped through this first batch. So yeah, that's not great. It's not great. But yeah, if we can get that in, we'll be in a pretty good position because that'll give us access to these oak trees. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm going to let them get this built. I'm going to come back when there's some more interesting stuff, I think. I have brought you guys back because I have put in a few, or planned in a few more water storage barrels. I can't get away from having played on hard mode and wanting to store all of the water. So they're working on that. We've got almost our dam built, which will give us access to these oak trees, which will be great. And then I think I might start thinking, yeah, I know, it's good words, about putting in some industry. And although it's a longish way, I'm going to put it in down here because we get the benefit then of the bad water as well. So at least then, if we get a bad tide, we will have power. So because what we need to be looking at is getting a forester going, and for that we need planks. So yeah, that's our first dam build, which is cool. Obviously none of this is really update 6 stuff, but we need to get the basis of a colony established. So yep, let's do some more of that. We need planks to be able to build those, so let's put just a good old-fashioned bog standard water wheel in. Hopefully being here, there's some fairly fast flowing water. We do have the new 3D water physics, and it does seem to flow nicer over things. So yeah, we'll see how it behaves with a water wheel in the way. -2 health. They don't have any accommodation. They do have plenty of food now, and we've got our first warehouses going up, which is good. They are clearing this area out, but I think this will be a good place for us to put a forester. So yeah, we can get a nice bit of water stored up as well. The first droughts should be fairly short, so that'll be good. We've got our first young beaver out, and more on the way. I do wonder if having 2 breeding pods might be a bit sporty at the start, but there we go. We are generating a whole 100 horsepower, which is plenty for our first industrial lumber mill. So let's throw that in, and we'll then tidy up the pathage. Obviously we would ideally have more of them coming out here, but there's some toxicity here, so we don't really want to do that. And we don't have paths or anything. Well, not paths, staircases to be able to build them yet. So yeah, we do have plenty of science, so we will be able to, in fact, let's unlock the forester and place it just here. So the logs can go in ready, and we can probably look at maybe pausing one of you. You can be paused as well. We're going to end up with some spare beavers at this rate. That's okay. I think we might put in a single lumberjack flag over here to begin to cut down a small number of oak trees. It looks like we've got some broken teeth. So let's go into Wellbeing and unlock the tooth grindstone. And actually that little spot there would be perfect. Would be perfect. Would. Beavers. Would. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So if we could get these made, the 7 planks that we need made pretty quickly before We're on day 11. Feel like we're hammering through this. Almost feels like we're cheating. Almost. Apart from the fact that we don't seem to be stockpiling food yet. Which is a little bit annoying. Well, that's in already. So we can pause you. And we're going to do plant trees. We're going to plant some pine trees. We are going to plant a few birch trees here because they grow nice and quickly. And then we're going to plant some oak trees over here. And I'm going to, before they do too much, put a path through there. So let's fill in the holes. There we go. We should probably leave a few gaps for a few more foresters as well. That feels kind of like we have... I'm going to put in another farmhouse here. We'll build it and we'll have it paused basically so that when we get, if we need to harvest a lot more food, we can bring in a couple more farmers. Kind of what I like to have early on. So yeah, that'll be good. We could probably go down to a 16-hour working day. Not that it makes a huge amount of difference at this point. Let's pause that. So we don't have any berries to harvest at the moment. We're good for science. So yeah, I think it's largely a case of waiting a little bit for trees to start to grow. We do have some spare trees, so my thought is that we're going to get a drought notification pretty soon, I would guess. And I think at that point I might throw in some stairs, try and get at least another water wheel or two across here. I mean, this is generating a nice amount of power actually. The water seems to be flowing better. I'm going to pause one of those because our colony's up to 15 beavers at the moment. We're pretty full on water, so maybe storage, a couple more water tanks would not go amiss. We can pick some more berries. Buddy's planting all of the trees. She's good. Can I get in? No, there's a little tree growing in there, that's why. Once he's planted some more, we'll expand this planting area. But yeah. I've not set this to all be cut yet because we don't really need it at the moment. Because I will forget, I'm going to put in the lumberjack flags and then pause them. I'm wondering, there we go, there's our drought notification for our first drought. Wondering if it's worth us putting in a couple of barracks at this point. The start of this map feels quite a lot like the start layout of Badwater Ridge. With this area, this feels quite similar. I think that's why I was having deja vu moments. Let's mark a few more oak trees to be cut down. And see if that gives us enough wood to build some housing for the beavers. And yeah, first drought on the way. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty short because they generally are. We've got loads of food and water stockpiled. Anyway, we do have some vacancies, so I'm going to unpause that and we'll pause one of that noise. We'll pause one of the scientists. I'm going to unlock the wooden stairs now because we will make use of those very shortly to generate some more power. This would be a really good spot to use the sluice gates to try and let through water, but it won't separate it. It just does it based off of contamination. So, yeah. But we could use the sluice gates somewhere up here to control the flow, and that's what we'll aim to do as we get more advanced, but we're not that advanced yet. So that's probably why we were short of beavers, actually, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Pause. We are up to 3 well-being. Look at us go. Look at us go. Now, the first bad tide is going to kill off a bunch of this stuff. Unless we can do something to manage it, which is going to be tricky. Because we're going to have to build quite high. But I just want to get through this first route, get ourselves more established, and then we'll worry about that, I think. So let's plant trees. I'm going to plant a lot more oak in the back corner here. But we are also going to run a path along here because we will probably want some access back here as well. So let's plan for that. Yep. There we go. Our first drought is here. So that's that cleaned up. So what we can do now is we can throw in our staircase. I guess I did a dumb. Who spotted it? I didn't preemptively make the planks that I need to build the staircase. Yeah. So that was a bit silly of me, wasn't it? Oh well. Job for another day. What we do need to put in, actually, it would be sensible to have a storage for planks there. And it would be sensible to have some storage down here for logs, probably. There we go. And we already have homeless beavers because they've not finished building that because they need 4 more logs. So let's cut down a couple more oak trees. And that'll get that finished. And I think with our very, very short drought, we shouldn't have any problems. Oh, I miss simple triggers so much. I will have a look at mods very soon. Because I really like using them. Yeah, I'm trying to eke out the little bit of wood that we've got until when we are close to having birch trees growing in, which is cool. That'll be good. That's why I plant birch at the start. Planting the birch and the pine early on is a good way of getting some wood growing quickly. It's not a lot, but it lets you do something at the start. There we go. So you can be paused. We've got 5 spare beavers. Let's unpause the other farmhouse and set you to harvesting. Maybe try and get that stockpile filled up. 5 well-being. Look at us go. Look at us go. First drought survived, and I think we will call that a video because I am always really guilty of trying to race away at the start of a series. So if you've enjoyed the video, click the like button. Obviously nothing really to update 6 at the moment, but interested in your thoughts on update 6, any comments, questions, suggestions, stick them below. Thoughts on how we deal with an early first bad tide are very welcome, because we are going to have to try and send water from these two water sources either out this way or out this way. So yeah, thoughts on that, very welcome. And I'll see you guys next time.